Hi, my name is Chris Singer. I'm the program coordinator with the Mid-Valley STEM-CTE Hub. And I am here today. This is our very first podcast, so excited to be here with our first Closing the Gap role model participant. And I'd like to introduce you to Britney Cawrse. Hi, Britney. How are you today?
Hi, I'm good.
Well, it's great to have you. Really excited that for you to be here. And we started this Closing the Gap project as a way to highlight women in STEM and trades careers. And you're a very first one. And you've also been featured on LBCC site for CTE month, and CTE is Career and Technical Education Month. How does this all feel for you?
Yes, thank you for having me. It's been an amazing 2 years, and getting highlighted with both LBCC and the STEM Hub has been just it's been really fun. It was not expected that they would both come out at the same time, but it's been fun, and my friends and family are enjoying watching. So
Yeah, that wasn't done on purpose. I don't think it just kind of happened to be that LBCC and the hub was doing something for CT month, and great minds think alike, I guess. And so it was pretty cool to see you featured by them as well. So we'll get started here with some questions, and I always ask. I used to go to classrooms a lot and talk about careers with students. And my first question is always kind of an icebreaker type question. So I'm going to ask you the question I always ask when I go to classroom. Think back to when you were about 5 years old and as a child, and what did you want to be when you grew up?
oh man. So I really wanted to be a mom. Like that was going to be my full-time job. But as I got into say second and third grade, all the way past high school, I wanted to be a sign language interpreter. Um, and I got offered to go to Western Oregon University. And at the time, my family were very their their thoughts were that a woman's place is to stay at home until she got married. They didn't mind me going to college, but they wanted me to find something local. And so I didn't end up ever becoming a sign language interpreter, and that's okay. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I can relate. I always wanted to be an astronaut, and that didn't happen. And sometimes that just is the way it goes, and we end up in different places. But I think the pathway where you're on now is really fascinating, and is one of the reasons we chose you to be our first role model for Closing the Gap. What is it about machining and becoming a machinist that motivated you to inquire about the machine tool technology program at LBCC?
You know, it wasn't something that I ever dreamed of. I just knew that I needed to get a job, and working at schools in the past was really great before I had kids. That way I can give them all my attention and love on them at school. But now that I'm a mom of two, I decided that I still wanted just to give my love and focus on my two boys now, and that I probably should find a different career. So I was looking anywhere. I decided to go ahead and look at my um, mother-in-law and father-in-law's newspaper, and there was a huge um, amount of machinist openings. And I asked my husband, I was like, um, how do I do this? And he goes, well, call Linn-Benton and let's figure it out. So that's what I did. I just jumped right in, not even really knowing like what it was to be a machinist or even the skills that I needed for that. But if my husband thought that I can do it, then I was pretty sure I could too.
That's great. And that's so great that your husband was so supportive and encouraging and didn't just say, uh, I'm married too. So sometimes when we bring ideas to our spouses and partners, we kind of give them that look like, seriously? And so it's pretty cool that he was so supportive. That's really amazing. And I'm sure that was probably a big part of your success too, is having that support at home. Can you describe a little bit about what the machine tool technology program is at LBCC?
Yeah, so the machine tool program consists of two different sides. I like when I walk in, I see a manual machining side, and then I see a CNC side, so which is kind of more, it's still machining, but it's computer operated. And um, my heart still is on the manual machining. I like to have control. Not that you don't have control with CNC, it just my hands, I know are guiding me or to what piece of metal is being cut and formed. So yeah, we have a manual machining side where we have lathes and milling machines. And then over on the CTE side, or not CTE, CNC side, um, there is milling machines and lathes as well. We get to learn how to make those CNC machines work by a few of the classes, not only CNC classes, but we have things like Mastercam and SolidWorks. And what that is you basically build the product on the computer before you take it on to the machine side. So it's a lot of fun. I was really nervous at first because I'm not a big machinery person, but they take you through it. So the instructors there are just so great. They take you through it step by step, and they push you just enough to where, you're learning something new and you're growing, but you're also, they're also making sure that you're catching up along the way too. So love it.
That's great. I'm glad you gave that crew over there a shout out. They're some of my favorite people to work with on campus. Ryan Powell, Chris Berry, Tarek Morris, and that whole team over there. Sam is great. That whole crew is just amazing to work with, and I love that how much they've supported you. And I read in the LBCC article about how you felt that they were really kind of pushing you a little bit too. They really wanted to see you succeed, and I think that's really awesome that you took that in a way too, is to help push yourself. It's really exciting to hear, and says a lot about the program. So what's next for you? You're about to graduate in June, correct? I think.
Yes, in
Okay.
June.
Okay. Uh, so yeah, what's next for you? You've proven yourself to be a really good goal setter and going out and achieving those goals. What's your next goal? What that you would like to accomplish?
Well, I planning on dropping off my resumes at local shops around spring break, but I'm hoping to take like 2 weeks off and kind of take a family vacation before my last hurrah. And then I plan on jumping in right away to a machinery job. So I'm I'm excited and nervous at the same time, but I have to remember I was nervous and excited when I started school too, and it all worked out. So it's all going to work out now. Um, so yeah.
Yeah, I think that's great. you've done it once. You really you really took a leap, and that's what's so great about your story, is that you just went out there and found a goal and accomplished it, and now you're on that next step to actually enter into the machining workforce. And there's lots of opportunities in those careers, as the team at the Machine Tool Tech talks a lot about. Careers with their students too. I know that. And so a lot of people are starting to retire, so they're looking for some new workers to come in. So I think you're in a good time to find some success in that regard. So let's change course here just for a little bit, for the next couple of questions, and just talk about women in the trades. And many young women are not aware of the opportunities available in manufacturing and trades. What do you think could be done to help spread the word to women about career options in these fields?
Absolutely. I was not aware of this back when I was going to school. I had no idea what even a trades job was back in high school. So I really feel that maybe getting more electives in high school that kind of go along with the trades would be great. But I haven't been at school in a long time. I know that that's kind of what I've been looking at whenever my boys go to school, like what kind of trades can they just try out in high school before they go to college or go out into the workforce. But as for women, I I've been racking my brain trying to figure out how to encourage more women to go into the trades. And a lot of my friends that I graduated high school with, actually, there's a pretty big group of us that decided within the last 2 to 3 years to go ahead and go into the trades field. One of my friends in Bend is now an electrician. And so it's just crazy to me how we've just, as we've grown, we switched to it. And I think we all wish that we would have known about this at a younger age, and that it was okay for women to go into trades.
Yes, I agree, and thank you for sharing those thoughts. That's part of the reason we've started this project, was to highlight women in trades and women in STEM careers, and the numbers are pretty low in STEM careers, around 25%, and they're even way lower in the trades, with only 9% of people in trades being women. So that's part of the reason to do this project, is that we really want to get the word out there. So I hope you share what we're doing with your friends too, so they can spread the word about what we're doing as well. Do you have any advice for women who are looking to follow a similar career path as to yours? Especially if you could talk a little bit about, some of the challenges you faced and how you overcame them, that would be great.
Yeah. So my advice for other women is to just not give up. It is really hard. It's like a whole different world for us. I know for guys, it just kind of comes naturally. I look around at my other classmates, and they're picking up on it faster than I am. But I think it's because we think a little bit different than men, and that's not a bad thing. Um, it's actually really good to have both men and women, because we do think different. In ways, like women are a little bit more thorough, and I think that's why it took me a little bit longer to to pick up on some of the subjects than my classmates. But the subjects that I struggled the hardest with, I focused the hardest on, and now I am really successful in those subjects. And Tarek actually was one of the instructors that pointed it out to me. I came to him just so frustrated, and he goes, "You know what I like about you is you really focus on what you are struggling with and you highlight that, and you end up being really great at it in the end. And so after he said that, I recognized that more. And now I kind of get really excited whenever something's really hard for me, because I can focus on it. So for my advice for women is just not to give up. And when it starts getting hard, because it will get hard, and there'll always be moments of being hard, but just don't give up. It's so rewarding to be able to have to be able to work along the side of men and both get the job done. And yeah, I hope I answered your question, because I think I went off on a tangent.
No, that you did beautifully. I love that you shared that a little bit about Tarek, and it's nice to hear and have confirmation about that team over there. You know, I have my own experiences working with them, and I love hearing how you know, you as a student really appreciated their guidance, and it helps me when I go to talk to kids about these programs, that I can. It's nice to feel confident when I'm able to tell them that, no, you'll really appreciate the instructors here, you'll love it, and give it a shot. So that's awesome to hear. That's pretty much it for what I have for questions from you today. Is there anything you want, any concluding things you'd like to add that we didn't touch on today?
No, I just want to thank you so much for having me on, and I hope this reaches a few women or girls out there that are struggling with trying to figure out which direction they're going to go after high school, or even after high school, and maybe have them think maybe I could be a machinist too. So that was my goal today. I hope it reached out to somebody.
Well, thank you so much. It was such a pleasure getting to know you through this project, and I wish you all the best success, and look forward to continuing to work with you a little bit more in the future.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.